Good evening. You're here for a palm reading, I take it? I can tell. Have a seat. So, with palm reading, I can read either of your hands. Your left hand shows your potential. Your right hand shows what you do with that potential. I think it might be best, due to time constraints, I can tell you seem a bit hurried, that I just look at your right hand, if you would care to give it to me. There are multiple different types of hands, as named by the four elements. Of course, earth, air, fire, water. You seem to have an air hand. Shows curiosity, intelligence, although you are prone to worrying and stress from time to time, but I think you can handle a lot more of that than you may realize. Your lines can be, some of them are a bit hard to read, but I can still see the four main ones. There's your lifeline, which sort of runs circling your thumb. There's your heart line up at the top, your headline, which is near your lifeline, and down the middle, it's very faint, but your fate line is there as well. Let's start with the lifeline. That's usually the one you can see the most in. Let's see. I can see a need to be liked and admired by your peers, and yet a tendency to be somewhat self-critical. You may be not as nice to yourself as you would like others to be to you sometimes. And in a similar vein, as I mentioned, you do have air hands, so worried, some insecurities, which there's more of that bottled up on the inside than you like to reveal on the outside. Perhaps due to a fear of what others will think. That's, in general, something I see here. You do have passion and energy about the things you are passionate about. You become energetic. There are things that, when you talk about them, you can see the spark in your eyes, and that's always very important. It makes things that make life worth living, you know. But sometimes life gets busy, and that can definitely wear you down. And I do see struggle in your past, particularly one or two things that are very important to what makes you who you are today. So as difficult as these struggles may have been, they make you who you are. Don't forget that. Let's see what your headline has to say. Let's see. Tend to thoroughly enjoy creativity, the arts, and such similar pursuits, though you do find comfort in the familiar. And comfort is a big thing, I see. It's good to feel comfortable, even as nice as it is to step out of your shell from time to time. Despite this comfort in the familiar and structure, though, you can sometimes be dissatisfied when you feel overly confined by restrictions, say on a project that you're working on or something like that. And it is evident you are an independent thinker. You don't just blindly accept everything others say. It has to feel true to you. Alright, on to your heart line, which, contrary to popular belief, isn't just about romance. It's a general sense of love. It's the platonic connections you make, the familial connections, as well as any possible romance. It just shows how you love. Let's see. I can see an innate sense in you and who is trustworthy and who is not, although this deep sense that you seem to have, a sort of sixth sense perhaps, is not completely foolproof. You have been fooled, and you will be fooled, but it is very important in making the connections that you make over the course of your life. Let's see, and connected to this is once someone has gained that trust, has been deemed trustworthy by this deep thing that may be difficult to explain sometimes, you become much more open and loving when otherwise you might be a little bit held back. You do thoroughly enjoy being in the company of others, and yet there are often times when you need to spend time by yourself, perhaps alone in your room, just time to cool off, time to focus on the thoughts that are inside your head, or even just time to forget everything that has been so stressful about your day. But it is important, it is very important to stay in touch with your thoughts and feelings by spending time by yourself, even if you may feel you are being pressured to go out or spend time with friends. Don't let that pressure get to you. Self-care is incredibly important. All right. And now, the fate line. Perhaps the line that people have the most interest in. You have some strong aspirations, but not all of them are completely realistic. So not all of the things you want to happen will happen, and not all of the wishes you have will come true. And this may sound harsh, but it is very important to be okay with that. You must be okay with things sometimes not going as planned. You are also very much self-made. You don't let others dictate your interests for you, and there are things you have discovered that may be hard to talk to some of your friends about. You may have interests that others consider to be strange or fascinating or abnormal, but that's totally okay. In general, it seems you have a very distinct control over your life, though there may be times when destiny takes over, when it feels like someone else has taken the wheel and life is just taking you for a ride and you don't know where you're going. And it can be terrifying and exciting. But that's just the way the road turns sometimes. Alright. Our 10 minutes are up. You can come back for another session. I have a feeling you might. And I will see you then.